I'm just doing a couple of invasions today, and I wanted to talk about the state of Elden Ring. I want you to kind of know where I come from. So, I'm Girlgoyle. I go by Girlgoyle in Elden Ring. I used to play Dark Souls 3, a little bit of Dark Souls 1. I mean, I've played every Souls-like you can imagine. I absolutely love them. But Elden Ring is extremely frustrating. I don't know if I love it or hate it. I guaranteed I have over 2,000 hours into the game, and I work a full-time job, so you can imagine how much I play Elden Ring. And the way I feel about it is really mixed. I know that a lot of Dark Souls 3 players who are really serious about PvP and invasions are kind of leaving the servers because of how unbalanced and unfair Elden Ring is. And I really think that's a shame. Um, I don't fault them though. I really don't. My experience with Elden Ring has been that there's so many weapons and um, tools you can use at your disposal that make the game so easy that no skill is really required. And also, you're lucky if you get a co-invader um, 5% of the time in your invasions. And that's a problem because Dark Souls 3 didn't start out as a gank fest for these kind of like new players, but now, like 6 months into the release, it's already a gank fest, and it's always, the host having players in their world that are like level 200 or higher. And even if the host is the same level as you, their friends are way over leveled and they one shot you. And the meta of Elden Ring has become a one shot meta. That's why I'm running, Moonveil and spells, because I wanted to be a quote unquote one shot build, but without being dishonorable, I guess you could say. I mean, I could just be like everybody else and do a bleed build. I could do dual banded curved swords, or Rivers of Blood, or Mogwin's Spear, or whatever, and be the most generic um, player you can imagine. Because that seems to be, or I could run dual spears with bleed or frost and be part of the poke meta, but I don't want to do that. Um, I want a little bit of a challenge to the game. What I find is these newcomers to Elden Ring, they don't really care about skill. All they care about is winning. And it's the same thing in Dark Souls 3, towards the end of Dark Souls 3. It's no longer about testing your mettle against your opponent. It's simply about um, winning at any cost and obliterating your opponent because and you know what? I think there's a little bit of psychology involved in that. Like I noticed that if it feels really bad to lose, and I think a lot of these new players are scared. They're scared to go up against people with skill because they're going to lose repeatedly and repeatedly. So what do? They make these one-shot builds, these bleed builds. And you know what? I don't fault them. I fault the developers of Elden Ring. I fault From Software for making this possible because, just about any game you play, people are going to always find a way to exploit the game and, um, make the most powerful builds they can and get that advantage. That's pretty much, in every game. So, what could have been done with Elden Ring is there could have been some, they could work on some major balance issues. They could make, they could make duels last a little longer. I noticed that, you know, dueling at Main Academy Gate, it's really all about, it's not about longevity. It's about killing your opponent as fast as humanly possible so that you don't have to learn how to roll. You don't have to learn how to parry. You don't have to learn how to, counter your opponent's build or space or any of those crucial skills involved in these kind of games. Instead, they want to cheese the hell out of it and, use these cheese builds. So yeah, I'm frustrated with Elden Ring. I think it's a great game. I think the build variety is amazing, but nobody's taking advantage of that. Like, very few people have a different build. And, I win about half of my invasions, which is pretty good considering the cards are stacked up against you. And I lose some because I make stupid mistakes, and that's on me. I'm not saying I'm the perfect player. Like here, as you could see, I am a sitting duck. I'm making all kinds of mistakes in this one, but that's whatever. That's on me. So, what I hope FromSoft works on some um, balancing in the future. I I hope they take this kind of like easy mode out of the game. None of the serious players want it. We, are kind of like leaving the servers because of it, and it would be a shame to lose your original fan base for this kind of like new era of players. And that's all I have to say.